The New England Patriots are year one. In fact, we are 7 weeks. We're not even halfway through the season yet. And we are already hearing that everything we've gone through this offseason with the new team, with the new regime, it might already be in jeopardy at restarting. A lot of rumors to break down, a lot of thoughts to break down. So without further ado, let's hop into this one. What is going on, Pats Nation? It's your boy Colby, also known as Patriots Global, back here with another video. I appreciate you guys for clicking on today's video to hear me talk about some Patriots news. On your way in, though, guys, before we hop into this one, please make sure you guys subscribe to the channel for all your New England Patriots news and hit that bell notification when you do subscribe so that you get notified every single time we post. Every single time we go live. You guys are not going to want to miss on the latest news involving this team because Jerod Mayo, he could be fired at any moment. A big move could happen at any moment, and we are going to make a video on it as soon as it happens. And of course, if we're going live, you want to be able to come in, join the football discourse with the rest of Pats Nation. You're not going to want to miss out on it. This is your one-stop shop for everything involving our 6-time Super Bowl champion, New England Patriots, baby. But look, there was a report coming out here just a couple of days ago when Greg Bedard was on the Felger and Maz show where he said, and I quote, the Patriots organization had second guesses about Jerod Mayo over the summer. So there were people within the Patriots organization, by the way, let's just make that clear, that were second guessing the addition of Jerod Mayo, the direction rather of Jerod Mayo. And this isn't because the Patriots suck right now. This isn't because the Patriots are losing. It's not like people with inside this organization loved the move during the offseason. They loved it week one when they were winning. And now all of a sudden, because they've gotten off track over the last few weeks, they hate the move. No. Before the regular season even started, there were people who thought maybe Jerod Mayo just wasn't the guy to take over for Bill Belichick. Now, Greg Bedard goes on to say that if the season continues to tank, a second season is not guaranteed. And that's not just for Jerod Mayo. A second season is not guaranteed for Alex Van Pelt, the offensive coordinator, or your defensive coordinator with DeMarcus Covington. And I want to break down my thoughts on each of these guys here. Should they stay? Should they go? And I want to start off here with Jerod Mayo. Now, I did touch on this topic a little bit, not this exact one, but the situation going on with Jerod Mayo saying the Patriots defense was soft and Bill Belichick calling out Jerod Mayo. So if you want to hear my thoughts on that, that was my last video. Make sure you guys go ahead and check that out after this one. But I'm up and down. I'm really up and down when it comes to Jerod because he's a guy that was never going to hit the ground running. You know, I think people came in and they thought that, Jerod Mayo can come in like DeMeco Ryans, Drake May can come in and be CJ Stroud, and the New England Patriots can have a 2023 Houston Texans-like season and make the playoffs. And I've been telling you guys that was never going to happen. That was never realistic. That was never also the plan for the season. I told you guys, a successful season for this year was the Patriots at least showing that they were better than what they were in 2023, even if that means marginally, and us leaving the season saying that we hit on the quarterback position with Drake May. Right now, it's hard to say that the Patriots are even going to get another win on the season. You want to see that New England is just going to trend in the right direction each week, that they're going to get better and learn from their mistakes each week, like Jerod Mayo says. But I don't think I'm crazy for saying that. It feels like the Patriots are getting worse and worse, both on and off the field as each week goes on. And that's my problem. Because again, Jerod Mayo, the second youngest head coach in the NFL right now. At one point during the offseason, he was the youngest head coach in the NFL before the Seahawks hired McDonald or whoever the heck their head coach is at this point. But I just don't think that it's also crazy to say that Jerod Mayo hasn't lived up to these expectations, at least my own personal expectations. And these expectations have been low, but Jerod Mayo learned under Bill Belichick for years. Jerod Mayo was one of the best linebackers of our generation. He's a Patriots great. He's an NFL great. I mean, when he was playing in the NFL, this guy went to the playoffs. This guy won playoff games. He went to Super Bowls. He saw what it was like to win and lose the Super Bowls. He has lots of experience on the field, and then he takes a couple years off before he comes and coaches as the Patriots linebackers coach in 2019. And that was my biggest concern when we hired Mayo was he only started coaching in 2019. And also, he's never been a coordinator. He's going straight from a linebackers coach over the last, 3-4 seasons. And we're giving him the keys to the castle immediately when he's never been a coordinator. But the talk of the town was we shouldn't worry because Jerod Mayo is the one game planning defensively every single week. He's the one implementing the game plan every single week, although he doesn't have the title of defensive coordinator. And so I said, you know what? Okay. Because yes, there's a lot of questions about the offense, but I feel like Mayo, he's going to come in, he's going to give the keys to the castle offensively to Alex Van Pelt or whoever's going to run the offense, but he's going to have a say in the defense. And the offense might have growing pains, but what's going to keep the Patriots in these games is going to be good special teams, which Jeremy Spinner has been a very good special teams coach for the Patriots. Definitely changed the outlook in that aspect for this football team. But defensively, it's just not been there. The New England Patriots are one of the worst offenses and defenses in the NFL, in large part of Jerod Mayo. And I love the fact that Mayo came in and he said, I believe in titles. I am going to give someone the opportunity to completely take over the offense and be an offensive coordinator, completely take over the defense and be a defensive coordinator. But you can still do that. You can still believe in titles, but still have a say in things. And right now, I don't know exactly what Jerod Mayo does on a week-to-week basis because he's not helping the defense. He's not coming up with the game plan. He's not implementing anything defensively. He's literally letting DeMarcus Covington do everything as a first-year defensive coordinator. And then he's letting the exact same thing happen with Alex Van Pelt, who's been an offensive coordinator, yes, but he's never called plays to this extent, never full-time, and that's something we're seeing. And you would think, as we're getting worse each week, you would think now 8 weeks into this, that Jerod Mayo would see this and not be what's been described as a CEO anymore. Basically standing back from a bird's eye view, taking the overall blame for whatever happens, but he's not having his overall say in each department. Is Jerod Mayo the reason that the Patriots defense sucks? No. Is Jerod Mayo the reason that the Patriots offense sucks? No. He's not the one playing calls. He's not the one designing it. But at the end of the day, you're the head coach and you make the decisions. You make the final say with the personnel. You make the final decisions when it comes to your coaching staff. And so whether it's you making these final calls on either side of the football or not, you're still going to get the blame because you're in charge of this football team. And quite honestly, if Jerod Mayo doesn't start getting hands-on with this football team and take away this stupid CEO role, then yeah, he does deserve to be fired. But overall, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Robert Kraft is going to fire him after 1 year. Robert Kraft, when he hired Jerod Mayo, said that he feels as confident with this hire as he did when he hired Bill Belichick. And I think Robert Kraft is going to say, this was a rough team. It was the year one. It was a very young team. Let's see what he can do with another year. So whether we like it or not, no, I don't think that Jerod Mayo is going anywhere. I still think he's going to be coaching week 1 of the 2025 season, but he needs to be hands-on if he wants to keep his job. Because if he performs this way, still in 2025, he's not going to make it till the end of the year. Now, when it comes to these coordinators, I don't care. When it comes to these coordinators, I'm perfectly fine with them leaving. And I love DeMarcus Covington. And I think he's a really, really good defensive line coach. But maybe he just wasn't ready to be a defensive coordinator, and that's perfectly fine. And obviously, this is still subject to change. We're not even halfway through the season. Maybe it could get better. But on the defensive side of the football with Covington, you do have to understand that, yes, there were a lot of injury concerns and a lot of injury problems. You lose Jabril Peppers, your star safety. You're losing multiple players when it comes to cornerbacks, when it comes to the defensive line. You lose Jawan Bentley. There's players going in and out every single week. But at the same time, the Patriots were the 9th overall defense in 2023, according to DVOA, with 0 secondary, and you were out Matthew Judon, so you had 0 pass rush. And I know that Covington isn't Bill Belichick, but it should still be better than what we're seeing. Because if you need a perfectly healthy team to have a good team, then you do not deserve to be a coach in the NFL. And of course, part of this does come down to the fact that the Patriots don't have the overall personnel that they want to run the type of defense that they want. But you look at the play calling defensively, and it's just horrific. And it's not always horrific, but there's been a lot of times where we're sending all-out blitzes on third down, and it makes absolutely zero sense. Like when you're sending an all-out blitz in a pivotal moment, week 2 against the Seattle Seahawks, when they've been killing you through the air all game, that's probably not the best idea, especially on a 3rd and 6 with the game on the line. It's also about how we're utilizing players, and that comes down to the coaching staff too. Yes, you're dealing with injuries, but because you're dealing with injuries, it doesn't mean let's try to duct tape these other positions and start moving players out of position. You should still be trying to put, injuries or not, players in their best position to succeed, so that you're not creating more holes for yourself. And I feel like overall, that's what DeMarcus Covington has been doing, is creating more holes for the Patriots, not playing Jelani Tavai where realistically he should be. This linebacker core being as bad as it is, not calling the correct defensive plays when it matters the most. Not only is the Patriots secondary struggling, but this run defense is also absolutely horrific, and it's getting worse and worse every single week. I mean, we're allowing a 100-yard running back every single week. We're allowing a running back every single week to average at least 4 yards on the ground. That is in return making Jerod Mayo and this Patriots offense have to play superhero football when it should be a young developing offense that we know is going to struggle early on. Honestly, I wonder if this team, if this coaching staff is far too young. I think they need experience. I think they need a veteran presence, and they don't have that anywhere. They don't have it at quarterback. They don't have it at head coach. They don't have it at offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator. And if you're going to stick with Mayo, who is very clearly very young and is going to take on, again, the CEO type of role where he's not very hands-on, then I think you need more veteran, more experienced coordinators on the offensive and defensive side of the football. So again, you want to keep Mayo? Fine. But maybe you go out and you get an experienced defensive play caller. Maybe you call up Mike Vrabel and say, hey, if you're not going to get another head coaching job, do you at least want to come home and coach up our defense? On the offensive side of the football, I understand Alex Van Pelt, what his role was. You come in with Ben McAdoo, you figure out who the best quarterback is in the draft. You develop that guy, because if this team can hit on the quarterback position, the most important position in sports, it's going to change the trajectory, whether we are good in 2024 or not. And if that was their role for this year and they succeed on it, I'm perfectly fine with Alex Van Pelt here in year 1. But if he can't call plays and he can't call the correct plays in pivotal times, and he's going to be one-dimensional and very predictable and not putting these players in positions to succeed, then he shouldn't be here. And again, it's the same situation, like I said, on defense. Maybe they need someone who's a little bit more experienced on the offensive play calling side of the football that can come in and take the reins over. Right now, I think we're far too young. I think adjustments need to be made, because the Patriots, they can't suck for 2 to 3, 4 years. We don't have the time to slowly and methodically develop over the next 3 years, especially if we're not going to progressively be getting better. Now, it's one thing if we win 3 games this year, if we win 9 games next year, and we continuously get better. But if the Patriots win 1 game this year, they win 5 games next year, Jerod Mayo and this coaching staff isn't going to be around long enough to continue to develop. The league is at a point, both with the fan bases, with ownership, where the timetable for success has never been shorter. If you aren't good in 1 year, 2 years max, and you're pushing for a playoff spot, you're immediately going to be out. But guys, this is where I want to kick it to you. What are your thoughts and these rumors coming out that if the Patriots don't start getting better, Jerod Mayo, Alex Van Pelt, and DeMarcus Covington could potentially be out of jobs? And if they are out of jobs, who should the Patriots bring in? You guys let me know in the comment section below. Remember to leave a big like on this video, and of course, subscribe to the channel for all your New England Patriots news. I appreciate you guys so much for watching. And of course, never forget, go Pats.